Look at this smoothie pack. Bright, clean, safe. Until you learn freezing doesn't kill viruses, it suspends them. That's how we got 49 people across 7 states sick with hepatitis A from organic frozen berries. In this investigation, I'm tracing your berries from farm workers' hands to the processing line. I'll show you why prevention beats any post-harvest fix, and the precise consumer step that neutralizes hepatitis A when the supply chain doesn't. It looks like convenience, but it can be a biological gamble. You've been told the bag is your bowl. Tear it open, pour, enjoy. Then an organic berry mix sparks hepatitis A in 7 states, and the line goes silent. That's the split screen I'm pulling back the curtain on. Marketing says ready to eat. Outbreak logs say the opposite. Here's the tension the industry skates past. Freezing preserves color and vitamins. It also preserves whatever rode in. Microbes don't die at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. They wait. The texture survives. So does the problem. When you thaw, the quality wakes up, and so can the pathogen. Follow the chain, and you see how easy the intrusion is. Start on the farm. Hand washing that's rushed, a sink without soap, a glove used longer than it should, irrigation water that touched a leaky septic system upstream, berries picked fast, packed faster. That speed gets sold as efficiency. It also helps a virus hitch a ride. Move to the processing line. Stainless steel everywhere, belts, hoppers, diverters, thousands of pounds per hour. Shared equipment between products. If sanitation gaps, cross-contamination becomes sufficient. A smear on a chute turns into a distribution plan. Rinse water that isn't well controlled spreads risk across a lot, not just a handful. We've seen the cost in more than one country. A U.S. multi-state hepatitis A investigation tied to organic frozen berries. Similar stories landing in Scotland, Finland, New Zealand, and Canada. Different borders, same playbook. Contaminated inputs, no kill step, wide distribution, and a recall after people get sick, not before. Let's drill into the biology without the jargon. Bacteria need warmth and moisture to multiply. Freezing pulls the plug on their growth like cutting power to a machine, but it doesn't smash the machine. Warm them up, and they can start again. Viruses play a different game. They don't replicate in food, they survive in it. Frozen, they're stable. Thawed, they stay infectious until heat shuts them down. That leads to the tool gap no one wants to talk about in the frozen fruit aisle. Antimicrobial rinses, limited punch against human enteric viruses. Irradiation does better with bacteria than viruses and isn't widely used here. Freezing itself is storage, not sanitation. The one reliable switch for hepatitis A is heat. Bring it to a real boil or fold it into something that steams, simmers, or bakes hot. Now the word organic. It signals pesticide rules. It doesn't promise viral safety. Organic farms can excel at soil health and still face the same human hygiene and water quality risks. The soil and water standards aren't a force field. If the irrigation source is compromised, the certification won't rescue the fruit. Industry groups argue frozen fruit is safe right from the package, pointing to acidity and sugar as unfriendly to bacteria at freezer temps and to clean facilities. But here's where that confidence frays. Viruses don't care about sugar or acid the way bacteria do, and cleanliness on paper isn't the same as a true kill step. When facilities lean on the freezer as proof of safety, they're selling a pause button as a purge. So yes, the label reads, ready to eat. But that promise is conditional on perfect upstream hygiene. One missed hand wash beats your freezer every time, and in a global supply chain where water testing can be sporadic and only small percentages of imports get checked, betting your breakfast on perfection is a race to the bottom. You deserve the full risk picture, not diet theater with frost on it. Now let's follow one berry from a glove to your blender and watch where prevention actually lives and dies. Which has more control over your smoothie's safety, the frost on your freezer door, or a worker's sink on a farm 7,000 miles away? If you want the real answer, follow the route your berries take. Fields first. Harvest crews move fast because margins are thin. Gloves help, but they only help if they're changed on time and hands get washed in a sink that actually has soap and hot water. Then bins stack up in the sun. Those bins roll to washing and sorting, where rinse water touches everything. Then to freezing lines built for speed, not contemplation. From there, pallets hit transport, sit in distribution, and land at retail. Every stop is either a checkpoint or a failure point. Your freezer is the last stop. It only preserves the status quo. Clean-looking berries are a visual trick. They shine because ice crystals and cold storage lock in color, not because they removed risk. Viruses don't flag themselves with slime or odor. They're invisible and stubborn. A rinse at home won't fix it. Running water won't dislodge a pathogen that can cling to a berry's tiny hairs and crevices and remain infectious when thawed. Water decides a lot of your odds. Irrigation water can turn a good field into a bad bet if the source carries human waste. The same goes for rinse water on a packing line. If that water isn't clean enough, one contaminated input spreads risk across a whole batch. It's efficient in the worst way. The safer play is upstream. Verified sources, tight controls, and testing that catches trouble before it travels. Now the processing line. Stainless steel sounds reassuring. It's also cold, smooth, and perfect for moving massive volume. Belts, chutes, diverters, and shared equipment push thousands of pounds an hour. When sanitation slips, cross-contamination scales with throughput. A smear on a blade becomes a distribution plan. A mist cleaning between products means yesterday's residue rides into today's lot. The machine doesn't care. It keeps moving. Regulators hammer pesticide residues with lab screens and pass/fail limits. Fine, but that system doesn't automatically address viral hazards. A shipment can clear chemical tests and still carry human pathogens because viruses require different controls. That mismatch leaves you holding a bag that looks compliant on paper but ignores the risk that actually matters to your gut. Here's the part the industry marketing soft pedals. Some public health agencies have told consumers to boil imported frozen berries for at least 1 minute before eating. That's not me being dramatic. It's the sober instruction you don't see on the front of a ready-to-eat pouch. The message: if the supply chain can't guarantee prevention, you apply the kill step. Heat is the control you own. For hepatitis A, the dependable post-purchase move is simple. Bring the berries to a brief boil or cook them into something that gets hot. Sauces, bakes, hot cereals. Freezing buys time. Heating buys safety. Those are not the same product claims, no matter how many snowflakes and farm photos the package prints. So here's your mini payoff. The freezer is storage, not sterilization. Your real safety switch sits upstream with hygiene and water quality, and downstream with a 1-minute boil when you need it. That's how you turn a blind bet into a controlled process. Tomorrow morning, you'll reach for that bag again. Keep the convenience, but stop outsourcing the risk to a marketing slogan. So what do you do with the freezer? Let's lock in a smarter routine that fits your morning and actually protects your family. Freezing is a pause button, not a purge. Organic trims chemicals, it doesn't stop a human virus. And right now, there's no post-harvest intervention as of now that's capable of eliminating the virus. Prevention is the control. Heat is the backup.